I'd finish work at 4:30, 5 and go straight over to the library for 3 or 4 hours to do my bit. I think it's a nice opportunity to move on to the part-time degrees now, because we've both done nonsense working here. So I remember I started, because a little bit, I guess, about my background. I'd started a degree at Coventry University, did it for a year, turned out it wasn't what I expected, and then kind of dropped out and looked for full-time work and started working at Warwick. Hence, a couple of years later, you kind of mature, you're in a learning environment working at the university, so I thought it might be time to get back into it and start looking to do a degree. Warwick ran a scheme through the learning vouchers where they supported staff to do a part-time degree whilst working full-time. So I went for it. Now, at the time, there was only, I'm not sure if this was the case when you did it, but there was a limited subject range you could pick from.
Yeah.
I think history was one, maybe.
History, law.
Law was it, yeah. Social studies, which is what I ended up doing, majoring in sociology. But it was just a great experience. There was times that, 6 years is a long time, isn't it? It flies by. It does fly by. But I remember at the start, I mean, looking back, it was probably anxiety now. But the way I felt was almost claustrophobic. I thought, oh, God, I've committed to this now. I've done a year, and I've still got 5 years to go. I remember talking to my friend about how I was feeling, and he said, well, by the time you finish, you'll be 30. If you carry on, you'll be 30 with a degree. If you don't, you'll be 30 without a degree. And that kind of really, I don't know, just gave me a bit of grit between the teeth and thought, you know what, it's going to be hard work, but he's right. I can be 30 by the time I finish and have a degree, and it's worth doing. The university were great in supporting me through it. I know some departments are slightly different, but for me it was, because I missed some time for lecture and seminar during work time, I just made that up at the end. Yeah. So there would be days that, I'd get in at 8 o'clock and wouldn't leave at 8 o'clock at night, especially when writing your dissertation as well, as you can probably attest to. So, I'd finish work at 4:30, 5 and go straight over to the library for 3 or 4 hours to do my bit on that. But ultimately, it was a great experience. I mean, Warwick is one of the best universities in the UK, and with my grades from school, I wouldn't have been able to dream of getting a spot in this university. So the fact that they supported staff to do it was brilliant. And I mean, I look back now with like zero regrets. It's one of the best things I've done. Not necessarily like the subject was great, like I said, I pictured sociology, but you just learn to kind of look at things from different angles, question things,
perspectives.
Yeah,
right?
don't take things for face value, which I did before. Yeah. But kind of doing a degree just makes you think, well, actually, yeah, that's great that someone said that, but maybe there is an alternative or different view or something like that. So, it was brilliant. I'm so glad I did it. Yeah. For anyone thinking about it, I'm not entirely sure what the situation is at the minute with the learning vouchers. I
need to have a look at that, but I heard that they were stopping the scheme. But again, don't hold me to that.
Yeah, do your research, because if it's still available, you can do it. I definitely recommend doing it.
Have a look at Warwick learning vouchers and see what you can be eligible for, because when you finished, you went on to do golf
lessons with them.
You can also use them for tennis lessons, language
there's loads
lessons as well. It's fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant when they had it available. Yeah.
I mean, as well, considering how much degrees are at the minute, to have it paid for is crazy, right?
That's the thing. I mean, full tuition fees would be anything north of £27,000, and for Warwick to give us that opportunity. Yeah. To be debt free in that kind of regard was absolutely fantastic. Yes, 6 years was a long time, and that was the minimum period where you could do the degree for free. Yeah, you could have done it for 4 years. You could have accelerated it, but you would have had to have paid a little bit more on top of your Warwick learning vouchers in order to get your degree in 4 years. Yeah, but I think with our situation, working here full time, the balance was right. For me, it was right.
It was difficult, I'm not going to lie, but like I said, it was worthwhile doing. I can't imagine how it was for you, because you've got, you're married, you've got 2 children, you know, you own your own house. You've got a lot more responsibilities than I had at the time when I was doing mine. So tip my hat off to you.
Cheers,
and also, like, you come out with, well, I know it's a first class. What percent was it?
77.
77. Wow,
77,
that's insane.
Yeah.
So fair play for doing it.
But to be honest, though, we had a similar, kind of challenges. You know, I wouldn't say we were traditional students moving forward.
Yeah.
And especially me growing up, I've had a lot of naysayers and people saying no, as well as other factors.
Yeah.
But instead of crawling into a shell, I actually use that to motivate me.
Of course, yeah.
A lot of people say, why are you doing the degree, or you're not good enough, or if you want to carry on with your degree, you're gonna have to consider go down to part-time hours.
Yeah.
And that was a real. At the time, I was devastated. I was, why you're not trying to give me these opportunities?
Yeah.
But
you used that motivation in the right way.
Absolutely.